Even though Blake Shelton is no longer a member of The Voice, Gwen Stefani made sure to include him in Reba McEntire's debut. Since Blake Shelton has formally left The Voice, there is a new sheriff in town. However, Reba McEntire, who arrived on a horse, immediately boosted her status from cowgirl to queen when she made her entrance on season 24, replete with crown and scepter. That doesn't mean Shelton was just a memory, though the coaches, particularly Gwen Stefani, spent a significant portion of the first night of the blind auditions noting his absence. Blake Shelton's absence from the coaches panel for the first 23 seasons was evident from the start, but that doesn't mean he's forgotten about. After formally welcoming Reba McEntire to the stage for the first time, Carson Daly gave her a big pair of scissors to cut a ribbon on her big red chair while obviously making fun of the fact that the cowboy had left it clean. That set the tone for the first episode without a cowboy. Although Reba McEntire was the first performer to grab the audience's attention with the fiery performance of Fancy, both Niall Horan and Gwen Stefani channeled Blake Shelton in an effort to recruit Jordan Rayner for their teams. The One Directioner really upped the ante by wiring his button so that every time he hit it, Shelton's voice shouted out something wonderful about him. The No Doubt singer had promised that she would receive music choices from her hubby. Later, Niall Horan would try to win another 4-chair turn by pressing his button, which displayed a big foam finger that said, "Pick Niall," with Blake Shelton's name checked out. The previous voice coach was also mentioned as follows, therefore, it should come as no surprise that despite his absence from the show, Blake Shelton continued to dominate The Voice. Nevertheless, we still got a glimpse of what Reba McEntire would bring to the table when Shelton steps down. Jordan Rayner, who boldly sang the country queen's biggest hit to open the season, was eventually secured by her, as you can see below. Overall, The Voice looked a little calmer without Blake Shelton and Kelly Clarkson, who was his go-to sparring partner. There were fewer heated arguments between the musicians, no one was blocked from any of them, and the only antics performed by any of the performers were Niall Horan's Shelton recycled motions. If it means focus more on the artists, I don't necessarily think that's a terrible thing.